Hi, my name is Alex, and today I want to share my journey of learning English with you. I'll take you through my story, explaining everything I went through and how I overcame the challenges. I hope it helps you understand that learning a new language, though difficult, can be a rewarding experience. When I was younger, I lived in a small town where everyone spoke the same language, my native language. I was always curious about the world beyond my town, so when I heard that English was spoken in many places around the globe, I became determined to learn it. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. At first, English seemed like a foreign land, with its own set of rules and strange words. My journey began with simple things, learning the alphabet, basic greetings, and common phrases. I remember sitting at my desk with a small book that had colorful pictures and English words. I would repeat phrases like, "Hello, how are you?" and "My name is Alex" over and over until they started to make sense. Despite my efforts, I faced many difficulties. For example, English pronunciation was challenging. Words like thought and through sounded confusing, and I couldn't figure out why some words had silent letters. It felt like I was trying to solve a puzzle where some pieces didn't fit. In school, English classes were tough. The teacher spoke quickly, and I struggled to keep up. I often felt embarrassed when I couldn't answer questions or when my classmates seemed to understand things more quickly than I did. But I knew that if I wanted to improve, I had to push through these feelings. One day, I decided to watch English movies with subtitles. At first, I could hardly understand what was being said, but gradually I started to pick up words and phrases. I also began to read English books, starting with simple ones and slowly moving to more complex stories. This helped me see how sentences were structured and how words were used in different contexts. Another important part of my journey was practicing speaking. I joined a language exchange group where I could talk with native English speakers. It was scary at first, making mistakes and trying to explain myself, but each time I spoke, I improved a little bit. I learned to listen carefully and to ask for help when I didn't understand something. Over time, things started to get easier. I began to feel more confident in my English skills. I could follow conversations, read more complex texts, and express myself better. I realized that learning English wasn't just about memorizing words or rules. It was about practicing, making mistakes, and learning from them. Looking back, my journey to learn English was full of challenges, but it was also incredibly rewarding. I've made new friends, discovered new cultures, and opened doors to opportunities I never imagined. If you're also learning English or any new language, remember that it's okay to struggle at first. Keep practicing, stay patient with yourself, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every step you take brings you closer to becoming fluent. As I progressed with my English studies, I started to notice the small victories that came with each milestone. One day, I managed to hold a conversation with an English-speaking tourist who visited our town. I was nervous, but it felt amazing to realize that I could understand and be understood. This experience boosted my confidence and made me more excited about learning. One of the most memorable experiences during my English learning journey was attending a summer camp focused on language skills. The camp was filled with activities designed to help us practice English in fun and engaging ways. We played games, participated in skits, and even cooked meals using English recipes. Through these activities, I learned new vocabulary and grammar structures in a way that was both enjoyable and practical. I also started to keep a journal in English. At first, writing was challenging and I made many mistakes. But as I continued, my writing improved. I found that journaling helped me express my thoughts and practice using new words and phrases. It was a way for me to reflect on my progress and think about how much I had learned. Another key part of my improvement came from interacting with English-speaking friends. I joined online forums and chat groups where people discussed various topics. These conversations helped me become more comfortable with informal language and slang, which isn't always taught in textbooks. I learned that English, like any language, has its own set of nuances and informal expressions that are important for real-life communication. Through all these experiences, I started to understand the cultural aspects of English-speaking countries. I learned about traditions, holidays, and customs that were different from my own. This cultural understanding made my learning more meaningful and helped me connect better with people from different backgrounds. One particular challenge that I faced was overcoming the fear of making mistakes in public. At first, I was hesitant to speak English in front of others because I was afraid of being judged. But with encouragement from my teachers and friends, I learned that making mistakes is a natural part of learning. Each mistake was an opportunity to improve, and I became more open to taking risks with my language skills. Eventually, I started using English in my daily life more regularly. I began to read news articles, listen to podcasts, and watch TV shows in English. These activities not only improved my listening skills, but also exposed me to different accents and dialects. I learned that English is a diverse language with many variations, and being exposed to these differences helped me become a more versatile speaker. As I look back on my journey, I realized that learning English was more than just acquiring a new skill. It was a personal growth experience. It taught me perseverance, adaptability, and the importance of staying motivated even when things get tough. I discovered that learning a language is not just about mastering grammar and vocabulary. It's about connecting with people, understanding different perspectives, and expanding one's horizons. So to anyone who is embarking on their own language learning journey, I encourage you to embrace the challenges and celebrate the progress, no matter how small. Learning English, or any language, can open up a world of opportunities and experiences that you might never have imagined. Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember that every step you take brings you closer to your goal. As my English skills continued to improve, I found myself drawn to new challenges and opportunities. One of the most exciting developments was the chance to participate in an international exchange program. This program allowed me to spend a few months studying and living in an English-speaking country. It was an opportunity I had dreamed about for a long time, and I was thrilled, yet a little nervous. Arriving in the new country, everything felt both exhilarating and overwhelming. The culture was different, and I was surrounded by people who spoke English with various accents and dialects. At first, understanding different accents was challenging. I often had to ask people to repeat themselves, and I was worried that I wasn't making a good impression. But I reminded myself that this was part of the learning process. Living with a host family was a fantastic experience. They were kind and patient, and they helped me feel more at home. We had conversations at the dinner table, went on outings, and they encouraged me to participate in local activities. Through these experiences, I learned more about everyday English and the nuances of cultural expressions that you don't always find in textbooks. One of my most memorable experiences was participating in a local community event. The event was a festival celebrating various cultures, and I was asked to give a short speech about my own background and experiences. The thought of speaking in front of a large audience was daunting, but I saw it as a chance to showcase how much I had learned. I prepared diligently and practiced my speech multiple times. When the day came, I was nervous, but I delivered my speech with confidence. The audience was supportive, and I received positive feedback, which was incredibly encouraging. During my time abroad, I also took part in a language exchange program with local students. This experience was invaluable. We would meet regularly to practice English and help each other with our respective languages. It was a wonderful way to learn colloquial expressions, understand different accents better, and make new friends. These friendships were a highlight of my stay and helped me feel more integrated into the community. By the end of my exchange program, I had grown immensely. My English had become more fluent, and I had gained a deeper understanding of the culture and people. I returned home with a newfound confidence and a greater appreciation for the journey I had undertaken. My experience taught me that language learning is not just about mastering grammar and vocabulary. It's about immersing oneself in new experiences and building connections with others. Back home, I continued to use and improve my English skills. I started tutoring other students who were learning English, sharing the strategies and resources that had helped me. It was fulfilling to see others progress and gain confidence in their own language learning journey. Tutoring also helped reinforce my own skills and reminded me of the importance of patience and encouragement. Looking back on my journey, I see how far I've come. Learning English has opened doors to new experiences, friendships, and opportunities that I never could have imagined. It has also taught me valuable life lessons about perseverance, adaptability, and the joy of continuous learning. To anyone reading this who is on their own path to learning a new language, remember that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Embrace the journey with curiosity and an open mind, and celebrate your progress along the way. Learning a language is a lifelong adventure, and the rewards are well worth the effort. After returning from my exchange program, I found myself eager to continue expanding my horizons. My improved English skills opened up new opportunities for me, both personally and professionally. I decided to explore some of these new possibilities, which led me to take on a variety of new challenges. One of the first things I did was enroll in an advanced English course at a local university. The course was designed for people who wanted to perfect their English and delve deeper into aspects such as business communication, advanced writing techniques, and public speaking. I was excited about the prospect of further honing my skills and learning more about the language from a different perspective. The course was intensive and demanding, but it was also incredibly rewarding. I found myself immersed in complex texts, engaging in in-depth discussions, and delivering presentations on various topics. I was introduced to advanced concepts such as persuasive writing and debate, which helped me refine my language skills and express my thoughts more clearly and effectively. Alongside my studies, I also started volunteering with a local organization that worked with immigrants and refugees. Many of the people I met were learning English as a second language, and I enjoyed helping them with their language skills. It was fulfilling to use my own experiences to support others in their journeys. I assisted with conversation practice, provided guidance on navigating everyday situations, and shared resources that had been useful to me. Through this volunteer work, I learned a lot about the different challenges that learners face. It reminded me of my own struggles and how far I had come. It also deepened my empathy and understanding of the diverse experiences of others. This experience reinforced the idea that language learning is a communal effort and that supporting each other can make a significant difference. In addition to my volunteering work, I started a blog where I wrote about my experiences learning English and shared tips and resources for others who were on similar journeys. Writing the blog allowed me to reflect on my own learning process and connect with a broader audience. I received messages from readers who found my advice helpful and appreciated the personal stories I shared. It was gratifying to know that my experiences were resonating with others and contributing to their learning. One of the most exciting opportunities that came my way was an invitation to speak at a conference on language learning. The conference was attended by educators, students, and language enthusiasts from around the world. I was asked to share my story and insights on overcoming language learning challenges. Standing in front of an audience of passionate learners and educators, I felt a sense of accomplishment and pride. It was a moment where I could reflect on how far I had come and inspire others who were embarking on their own language learning journeys. As I continued to develop my English skills and explore new opportunities, I also became interested in learning other languages. My experience with English sparked a curiosity about different cultures and languages. I began studying Spanish in my spare time, excited by the idea of connecting with more people and understanding new cultures. The process of learning Spanish was both challenging and enjoyable, and it provided a fresh perspective on the language learning experience. Reflecting on my journey, I realized that learning English was just the beginning. It opened doors to new experiences, personal growth, and a deeper appreciation for the world around me. It taught me the value of perseverance, the joy of continuous learning, and the importance of supporting others on their journeys. To anyone who is working on learning a new language, remember that the journey is ongoing. Embrace each challenge as an opportunity to grow and keep an open mind to the many experiences and connections that come with it. The skills you acquire and the people you meet along the way will enrich your life in ways you may not have imagined. With my English skills firmly established and my curiosity piqued by the prospect of learning other languages, I found myself more connected to the global community than ever before. My journey was not just about mastering English anymore, it had become a gateway to exploring new cultures and experiences. One of the significant changes I noticed was in my professional life. With my enhanced English abilities, I was able to pursue job opportunities that required strong communication skills. I landed a position at an international company where English was the primary language of communication. This role was both challenging and fulfilling, as it allowed me to use my language skills in a real-world setting and interact with colleagues from diverse backgrounds. The job involved working on global projects, participating in meetings, and preparing reports in English. It was demanding, but it also provided a valuable learning experience. I had to constantly adapt to different communication styles and understand industry-specific jargon. My ability to navigate these challenges was a testament to how far I had come in my language learning journey. One of the highlights of this role was attending international conferences and workshops. These events were a chance to network with professionals from around the world, exchange ideas, and gain insights into global trends. Speaking and presenting in English in such settings was both exhilarating and nerve-wracking, but each experience boosted my confidence and expanded my professional network. In addition to my professional growth, I continued to pursue my personal interests. I started traveling more, exploring new countries, and immersing myself in different cultures. Traveling allowed me to practice my English in various contexts, whether navigating airports, ordering food, or engaging in conversations with locals. Each trip enriched my understanding of English as it's used in different regions and contexts. During one of my travels, I met a group of fellow language enthusiasts who shared my passion for learning and cultural exchange. We formed a language club that met regularly to practice various languages and discuss cultural topics. The club became a vibrant community where we could share experiences, exchange tips, and support each other in our language learning goals. It was an excellent way to stay motivated and engaged while exploring new languages and cultures. One particular project that stood out was organizing a cultural exchange event with the language club. We invited speakers from different countries to share their experiences and insights about their cultures and languages. The event was a great success, fostering meaningful discussions and connections among attendees. It was rewarding to see how language learning could bring people together and create a space for cultural appreciation. As I continued to grow both personally and professionally, I also found new ways to give back to the community. I began mentoring young people who were interested in learning English. I helped them with their studies, provided guidance on effective learning strategies, and shared resources that had been helpful to me. Seeing their progress and enthusiasm was incredibly fulfilling and reminded me of my own journey. In my personal time, I continued to explore different hobbies and interests. I took up writing, not only in English but also in Spanish, experimenting with poetry and short stories. Writing became a creative outlet and a way to express myself in new and meaningful ways. It also helped me further develop my language skills and appreciate the nuances of different languages. Looking back, my journey with English and language learning has been a transformative experience. It has shaped my career, broadened my horizons, and enriched my personal life. The challenges I faced and the accomplishments I achieved have taught me valuable lessons about dedication, resilience, and the joy of continuous growth. To anyone on their own language learning journey, remember that it's a lifelong adventure. Embrace every opportunity to practice, explore new cultures, and connect with people from around the world. Each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals and opens doors to new and exciting possibilities. As I continued to navigate my professional and personal life, the skills and confidence I gained from learning English began to influence many areas beyond what I had initially anticipated. My understanding of different cultures and languages became a valuable asset, opening up new avenues for growth and connection. One particularly impactful experience was participating in an international volunteer project. The project focused on environmental conservation and involved working with teams from various countries. The team communicated in English, which allowed me to use my language skills in a context that was both meaningful and challenging. We worked together on tasks such as planting trees, cleaning up local waterways, and educating communities about sustainable practices. The project was not only an opportunity to contribute to a cause I cared about, but also a chance to learn from people with diverse perspectives. I discovered how different cultures approach environmental issues and the creative solutions they employ. This experience deepened my appreciation for global cooperation and showed me the power of working together to address common challenges. Another exciting development was my involvement in a collaborative research project with colleagues from several countries. The project aimed to explore the impact of technology on education and involved conducting surveys, analyzing data, and presenting findings at an international conference. The ability to communicate effectively in English was crucial for coordinating efforts, sharing insights, and synthesizing information from various sources. Preparing for the conference was a rigorous process. I spent weeks researching, drafting, and revising our presentation. Standing in front of an audience of educators and researchers, I felt a sense of accomplishment and pride. The feedback we received was positive, and it was rewarding to see our work contribute to the broader conversation about the future of education. Through these experiences, I continued to hone my language skills and expand my professional network. I learned that English was not just a tool for communication, but a bridge to opportunities and collaborations that spanned the globe. It became clear that the skills I had developed were not only valuable for my career, but also for fostering connections and understanding across different cultures. In my personal life, I became more involved in cultural exchange programs, both as a participant and a host. Hosting international students and travelers allowed me to share my own culture while learning about theirs. Each interaction was a learning experience, and it helped me gain a deeper appreciation for the richness of different cultural traditions. One particularly memorable experience was hosting a student from Japan. We spent time exploring local landmarks, trying new foods, and engaging in conversations about our respective cultures. Through these interactions, I gained new insights into Japanese customs and language, and our friendship grew stronger. It was a reminder of how language and cultural exchange can create lasting bonds and mutual understanding. My journey with English and language learning also inspired me to become more involved in advocacy and outreach. I joined organizations that support language learners and work to promote multilingualism in education. I participated in campaigns to raise awareness about the benefits of learning multiple languages and the importance of providing language support for diverse communities. In addition to my advocacy work, I started offering workshops and seminars on language learning strategies. I wanted to share the knowledge and experiences I had gained with others who were embarking on their own language learning journeys. The workshops covered topics such as effective study techniques, overcoming language barriers, and leveraging technology for language practice. Reflecting on my journey, I am struck by the profound impact that learning English has had on my life. It has shaped my career, enriched my personal experiences, and opened doors to a world of opportunities. It has also taught me the value of perseverance, adaptability, and the importance of embracing new challenges. To those who are still on their path to learning a new language, remember that every step you take brings you closer to your goals. Embrace the journey with enthusiasm and curiosity, and be open to the many experiences and connections that come along the way. The skills you develop and the relationships you build will be invaluable as you navigate the world and explore new horizons. As my journey with English and language learning continued, I found that my experiences increasingly intersected with my personal passions and aspirations. The skills I had acquired opened up new avenues for exploration and growth, leading me to further delve into areas that excited me. One of my long-held passions was storytelling. Having always been captivated by the power of stories to connect people and convey ideas, I decided to channel my language skills into writing fiction. I began working on a novel that blended elements from my own experiences with imaginative storytelling. Writing in English allowed me to reach a wider audience and share my stories with people from different backgrounds. The process of writing a novel was both challenging and exhilarating. Crafting compelling characters, developing intricate plots, and finding the right words to evoke emotions were all aspects of the creative journey that tested and expanded my language abilities. I also joined writing groups and attended workshops, where I received feedback from other writers and learned more about the nuances of writing in English. Publishing my first book was a significant milestone. It was an incredible feeling to see my work in print and to know that it had the potential to touch readers' lives. The process also taught me about the publishing industry, including the importance of editing, marketing, and engaging with readers. Through book signings and promotional events, I connected with people who had read my work and shared their own stories and experiences. In addition to writing, I became interested in public speaking and storytelling as a means of sharing my experiences and insights. I started giving talks and participating in panel discussions on topics related to language learning, storytelling, and cultural exchange. Speaking in front of diverse audiences allowed me to use my English skills to inspire and engage others, and it reinforced my belief in the power of communication to bridge gaps and build connections. Another significant aspect of my journey was the opportunity to mentor and collaborate with aspiring writers and language learners. I established a mentorship program where I supported individuals in their writing and language learning endeavors. This program provided guidance, encouragement, and practical advice to those who were working to improve their skills and achieve their goals. Through mentoring, I not only helped others, but also continued to learn and grow myself. The process of guiding and supporting others reinforced my own understanding of language and storytelling, and it was fulfilling to witness their progress and success. As my career and personal projects flourished, I also focused on giving back to the community in meaningful ways. I organized charity events and fundraisers to support literacy programs and educational initiatives. These events aim to promote the importance of reading and writing, and they provided resources and support to individuals and communities in need. One particularly impactful event was a charity book drive that I organized in collaboration with local schools and libraries. We collected books and educational materials for underprivileged communities and distributed them to those who lacked access to these resources. Seeing the joy and excitement on the faces of children and families who received the books was incredibly rewarding. Reflecting on my journey, I realized that language learning has been a catalyst for personal and professional growth. It has enabled me to pursue my passions, connect with diverse individuals, and contribute to meaningful causes. The skills and experiences I have gained have shaped who I am today and continue to drive me toward new goals and aspirations. To anyone on their own language learning journey, I encourage you to embrace the opportunities that come your way. Use your skills to pursue your passions, engage with others, and make a positive impact in your community. Language learning is a powerful tool that can open doors to new experiences and enrich your life in ways you may not have imagined. As the years passed, my life continued to be enriched by my English language skills and the experiences they enabled. I found that my journey was far from over and that there was always more to learn, explore, and share. One of the most exciting new chapters in my life was starting a podcast. Having always loved storytelling and sharing knowledge, I decided to create a podcast focused on language learning. cultural exchange, and personal growth. The podcast aimed to provide listeners with tips, interviews, and stories that would inspire and support their own language learning journeys. Creating and hosting the podcast was a fulfilling challenge. I spent time researching topics, inviting guests, and recording episodes. Each episode featured conversations with language experts, educators, and fellow learners who shared their insights and experiences. It was incredible to connect with people from all over the world and hear their unique stories and perspectives. The podcast became a platform for me to explore new ideas, share resources, and engage with a global audience. I received feedback and messages from listeners who found the podcast helpful and inspiring. It was rewarding to know that the podcast was making a positive impact and fostering a sense of community among language learners. In addition to the podcast, I continued to pursue other creative projects. I started working on a series of short stories and essays that explored themes of cultural identity, language, and personal growth. These writings allowed me to delve deeper into the experiences and insights I had gained through my language journey and share them with a broader audience. I also became involved in educational technology, exploring how digital tools and platforms can enhance language learning. I collaborated with developers and educators to create interactive language learning apps and resources that aim to make learning more engaging and effective. It was exciting to see how technology could be leveraged to support learners and make language acquisition more accessible. As my career and projects evolved, I also focused on balancing my professional and personal life. I made a conscious effort to prioritize self-care and spend quality time with friends and family. I continue to travel, explore new cultures, and engage in activities that brought me joy and fulfillment. One memorable experience was attending a global language and culture festival. The festival featured performances, workshops, and discussions from diverse cultural traditions and languages. It was a celebration of linguistic and cultural diversity, and it provided an opportunity to connect with people who shared similar passions and interests. Throughout my journey, I remained committed to giving back to the community. I continued to volunteer with literacy programs and educational initiatives, and I supported organizations that promoted multilingualism and cultural exchange. These efforts were a reminder of the impact that language and education can have on individuals and communities. Reflecting on my journey, I am grateful for the opportunities and experiences that have shaped my life. Learning English has been a transformative experience that has opened doors to personal and professional growth, creative expression, and meaningful connections. It has taught me the value of perseverance, curiosity, and the joy of continuous learning. To anyone on their own path to learning a new language, remember that the journey is a lifelong adventure. Embrace the opportunities that come your way, stay curious and open-minded, and continue to explore and grow. The skills and experiences you gain will enrich your life and provide you with a deeper understanding of the world around you. As my podcast gained popularity and my creative projects flourished, I began to reflect on the broader impact of my language journey. I realized that the skills I had developed and the experiences I had gained could be used to foster greater understanding and collaboration on a larger scale. One of the most exciting opportunities that arose was collaborating with an international non-profit organization focused on education and language development. The organization was working on a global initiative to promote multilingual education and support language learners in underserved communities. They invited me to join their advisory board and contribute my insights and expertise. Joining the advisory board was a significant responsibility, but it was also a chance to make a meaningful impact. I worked with a team of educators, linguists, and advocates to develop strategies and programs that would support language learners and promote educational equity. We designed workshops, created resources, and organized events to raise awareness about the importance of multilingual education. One of our major projects was launching a global language exchange program that connected learners from different countries. The program paired individuals who wanted to practice new languages with native speakers who were interested in learning other languages. It was a wonderful way to foster cross-cultural communication and provide valuable language practice opportunities. The success of the program was a testament to the power of language learning in bringing people together. Participants shared their experiences, formed lasting friendships, and gained a deeper understanding of each other's cultures. It was inspiring to see how language could bridge gaps and create connections across borders. In addition to my work with the non-profit organization, I continued to pursue my passion for writing and storytelling. I started a new project focused on compiling stories from individuals who had overcome language barriers and cultural challenges. The project aimed to highlight the resilience and determination of language learners and celebrate their achievements. The book, titled Voices Across Borders, featured a diverse collection of personal narratives and reflections. Each story was a testament to the power of language and the impact it had on individuals' lives. The book was well received and became a source of inspiration for many readers who were navigating their own language learning journeys. I also continued to engage with the language learning community through workshops, seminars, and conferences. I had the opportunity to speak at events focused on language education, cultural exchange, and personal development. Sharing my experiences and insights with others was a rewarding way to contribute to the field and support those who were on similar paths. As my career and personal projects evolved, I remained committed to balancing my professional and personal life. I made time for activities that brought me joy and fulfillment, such as traveling, exploring new hobbies, and spending time with loved ones. I also continued to practice mindfulness and self-care, recognizing the importance of maintaining a healthy balance. One particularly memorable experience was organizing a cultural immersion retreat for language learners and educators. The retreat brought together participants from different countries for a week of workshops, cultural activities, and language practice. It was a unique opportunity for individuals to immerse themselves in a supportive and immersive environment, and it was gratifying to see the positive impact it had on their learning and personal growth. Reflecting on my journey, I am grateful for the many opportunities and experiences that have shaped my life. Learning English has been a transformative and enriching experience, and it has opened doors to personal and professional growth, creative expression, and meaningful connections. It has taught me the value of perseverance, curiosity, and the joy of continuous learning. To those who are embarking on their own language learning journeys, remember that the journey is a lifelong adventure. Embrace the challenges and opportunities that come your way. Stay curious and open-minded, and continue to explore and grow. The skills and experiences you gain will enrich your life and provide you with a deeper understanding of the world around you.